Hello and welcome to another Material Concerns episode of Material Girls. I'm Hannah McGregor.
And I'm Marcelle Cosman.
And I'm Coach.
Marcelle, you're wearing such a cool pair of sunglasses right now.
I'm sleepy. I don't want you to see how sleepy I am. I'm so tired.
It's big rock star energy. You pulled an all-nighter. You got to cover up your shame.
You wouldn't believe the hickeys.
You have hickeys? Let's see.
No, I don't have hickeys. I'm 41 years old.
If I ever am too old for hickeys, kill me.
Wow.
End it.
Marcelle, is having a bunch of hickeys your impression of a thing a rock star does?
Yeah. Being young and sexy and having late night sexy nights.
I guess.
Find me a rock star who doesn't have a hickey and I'll show you a church singer.
Huh?
I don't know.
Why are you so sleepy? Too many kids?
I have too many kids is the main thing. I have too many kids, and I have that problem that a lot of adults who may or may not have undiagnosed ADHD have, which is that you keep staying up late even though you're really tired. So I am super tired and ready to go to bed at 10, but I end up going to sleep around 1:30 in the morning.
What is that? Revenge procrastination or like there's a term for it.
Yeah.
We'd said it so much in 2020 and now I can't ever remember exactly what it was called.
And it's not entirely that. It'll also be things like I literally have chores that I can't do until the kids go to bed. And
yes,
it's a whole combination of things. So I look really sleepy and I don't want the people to see it.
Oh, you look cool.
But now I look cool because I've got sunglasses on.
Yeah. You look cool as hell.
I also just like this is like the way that because the last Material Concerns I had glasses on because of my allergies, I think.
No, you got your eyebrows done. You thought your eyebrows were too intense.
Yeah, it was day one of eyebrow dyeing. And you were like, these guys, this is too much.
Oh, right. That's right. It was too much.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah. That probably means I'm due another dye job. Gotta go see my lady.
Wow. Yeah. Get in there. Look at those pale brows. I can barely see them.
What the heck? I'm disappearing into my white wall.
Oh, boy. How are the two of you? I'm sleepy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. It's nice out. I know that's always what I start with because it's like the biggest influence on my mental well-being. It's beautiful out, so that's good. I'm well because I just chatted with one of our Patreon supporters who worked on Severance season 1, and we have a Substack that's coming out, but they worked on season 1 of the show in the art department. So I just had a little 30-minute conversation with them and it was just really awesome. It was just like so fun. All of our listeners are really cool people and it's rare that we actually got to know them a little bit. So it was just really fun. So I'm in good spirits.
We're going to fuck those good spirits. We're going to fuck them right up.
Oh boy.
How are you, Hannah?
I am currently staying with friend of the pod, Zena Sharman. And so I am having a lovely time. That is also why my recording is a bit more sort of chaotic than usual because I am in the guest room, which hopefully will provide good audio because they just purchased a beautiful new thick pile shag rug.
Oh, hell
which
yeah.
I am currently sitting on and it feels so squishy.
Mummy-like.
It's so squishy that one of their 3-year-olds tried to make off with it and move it into their room.
Cute.
And replace the rug in here with the rug that is in their room.
Swap them away?
Back. No, this was before my arrival. There has been much child drama during my time here. One of the children swallowed a loony.
What's a loony? Oh, that's Canadian.
A Canadian dollar.
$1 coin.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Significant sized metal coin.
Yeah.
And they did, in fact, need to have it removed at the hospital. But because Vancouver Island kind of is, it's both a real place that a lot of people live in and also not a real place.
Okay.
And so there were no pediatric surgeons available on the entirety of Vancouver Island. So they had to be medevac to Vancouver.
Oh my God.
So it's all been much more dramatic than ideally such a sort of active, youthful exuberance should require.
I'm getting so financially anxious. And then I'm like, it's Canada. It's Canada.
Yeah, no,
Canada.
it's free. It's not going to cost.
I know, but I like just know that for me, my whole body was like, I need to Venmo Zena and be like, to help cover the, it's so grim.
In fact, at the end of it, they're going to get $1.
All right, into the first segment.
It's perfect. This recording, we're starting with Kreacher Report because, once again, eating my words. I don't think I was ever explicitly anti this segment. I think I just was like vaguely.
No, but we could tell.
Yeah, you can tell. You can read. After 4 years, you can tell. Unfortunately for me, you can tell how I feel. But the people freaking love it.
Yeah.
In fact, there has been a request for you to name more of my plants and for me to check in on more of my plants.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Coach, activate Kreacher Report. Kreacher Report. Kreacher Report. Kreacher Report.
Scope updates, scope updates, scope updates, scope updates.
Hell yeah, dude. Great. I'm going to kick us off with Jodie. Can I show you Jodie?
Yep.
Yes, please do.
So I bet you're picturing a small little planter.
I am.
I
such
am.
a small little plant.
A plant the size of a hand. Whoa. Sorry. Jodie's small, but Jodie's house is big.
Jodie upgraded to a big ol' house.
Jodie is an infant in a king-size bed. That is Jodie.
That's right. That's right.
Jodie is Kristen Chenoweth in a mansion.
Yeah. For those not watching our video clips, or maybe our AI generated, fully edited video episodes, maybe we'll do that one day when I succumb.
Coach, you shut your goddamn mouth.
Trust me, I know. I'm panicked about it. Anyway, the point is, for those who haven't seen the visual, Jodie is a really tiny 3-leafed plant that was in a 3-inch pot. But now she's in I don't know, maybe it's a 12-inch diameter.
She's in a bucket.
Because I went to my roof to look for some planters. I was like, I can't buy a plant. I can't buy a house for Jodie. I can't afford it. But I can repurpose a house. So now she's got, so she's doing okay. She's doing well, I think.
Good for
She's got a lot of room to grow.
Good for her.
And then I would ask you to name this plant, but I've already named this plant Marcelle.
Mm-hmm. You've already
that plant's name is Marcelle.
Sorry, you named that plant Marcelle?
Yeah, because she reminds me of you.
You named her Marcelle.
Well, just now.
Her name is Marcelle.
This is my plant Marcelle. Plant Marcelle.
Okay.
Human Marcelle.
Look at her.
Don't you love her?
No, she's beautiful. I'm not offended.
She's in a gin bottle.
It's perfect. It is.
Is that why?
She's pink. She's got polka dots. She's in a gin bottle. I get it.
She's somehow freaky, but also elegant. I don't know.
Hey,
now.
Yeah.
Hey now.
I think that's the highest compliment I can give Marcelle.
Freaky?
And elegant at the same time. Are you kidding me? Did you not hear me say elegant?
Marcelle, no, but I know that you're obsessed with the idea that you're a normie, but you're not.
A freak who's also elegant.
You're a freak.
She's a little freak.
You're a little freak.
But I feel like because of rule of threes and for the request for more of a Kreacher Report, I need to find another plant.
Yeah. You're just looking around your room like one might appear that you forgot existed.
Yeah. Actually, there is one.
You need a Hannah is what you need. You've got a Marcelle plant. You need a Hannah plant.
I do. And I actually think I have the perfect plant. Please hold. Okay. I know you're like, we have no time, but whatever.
No,
we do.
You're the boss. If you say we have time, we got time.
Okay. Ready? I think this could be Hannah. It's 2 plants in one.
Whoa. Whoa. A little Marcelle and a little monster.
Yeah. So to describe for the people, it's a clay pot, probably 5 inches. I can't believe you guys asked for this, but here we go. And it's the same plant as Marcelle. It's a clipping of that, but then it's also a clipping of a very cool monstera, a weird variation of a regular monstera. A little bit more hard edges, a little bit more, I don't know, rock and roll.
Yeah.
What do you think, Hannah?
Yeah.
Do you feel yourself in it?
Is a little bit rock and roll how we would describe me?
I would call you probably very rock and roll.
Wow.
That's incredible. Wow. I'm really enjoying being described via plants today.
I don't know.
I mean, people might
that really works.
Other
for
people
me.
might not look at this plant and say it's rock and roll.
No, that plant's definitely rock and roll.
That plant's
And like
definitely
that,
rock
I
and
guess,
roll.
I think it's because I added them to the same pot because they are watered on the same frequency. And I was like, ooh, why don't I make a little like melange?
Yeah.
Like a little like freaky
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
That's
I
a
love
level
them.
of plant caretaking that I didn't even know existed.
I love plants.
I didn't know you could put 2 plants in a pot to make one
Yeah.
beautiful rock and roll
Hannah.
Hannah.
Hannah, to
Yeah.
make one Hannah. 2 plants, 1 pot, 1 Hannah.
That's my creature report.
My creature report is that I am on the road currently. I just had the cutest little,
Rock and roll.
right? I just had the cutest little writing retreat with friends of the pod, Zena Sharman and Carly Boyce.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have not seen my creatures in some time. But the writing retreat was in Ladysmith, which is on Vancouver Island, and Zena's in-laws' place, which directly overlooks a cove of the ocean. And we saw so many ocean creatures.
Cool.
I saw so many ocean creatures. We saw seals.
Ooh.
Cuties.
I saw my first ever, like, in real life, in the wild, sea otters.
Oh,
I was hoping you were going to say mermaid.
Yeah, I did see my first ever mermaid for sure. No, I saw sea otters, which was so cute because they were floating around on their little backs.
Yeah.
It was so cute. We saw 4 billion oysters. We also saw, okay, this is a thing that I encountered first in Animal Crossing and then realized is also real in the world,
Okay.
which is that clams bury themselves in the sand and then they like breathe by like squirting water up into the air. And so there'll just be this like smooth sort of stretch of sand. And then there's just these like squirts
That's
just
cute.
like coming out. And that's where I think it's clams. I think it's clams under there.
Cute.
But
I
it's
didn't know
just,
that.
it's just like a little natural fountain.
I did not know.
Just these little squirts coming out.
That's beautiful.
So that was pretty exciting.
I can't believe Marcelle's tolerating your use of the term squirt.
I don't mind the word squirt when it's in relation to clams and sand
Think about
and
it for
nature.
a second.
and nature. Coach.
No, Marcelle loves context.
I love context.
Oh.
Stop it.
Oh.
Stop it, you little freak.
Oh, wow.
What?
What? I just
Oh my
I was
God,
just being
me?
a coy little clam.
Just a quick little clam. Do it again. Okay. And also, Carly and I put our whole bodies in the ocean one day.
Mhm.
It was brisk. But while we were in there, I mean, we saw a million crabs and like big crabs, like size of your hand crabs,
Cool.
big red crab scuttling along.
Wait, they're red before they get cooked?
Yes.
Whoa.
You might be thinking of lobsters.
I obviously am. I thought it was true about crabs too, but I'm delighted to hear that it's not.
No, red IRL. But also, there were these jellyfish, like the size of a loony,
Yeah.
if you will.
I will.
Just like jellyfishing around us. And at one point, I accidentally like kind of hit one with my hand. I didn't know it was there. I sort of moved my hand and was like, hit something and was like, oh, that's hard. And then I looked and it was a jellyfish, which is how I found out that jellyfish are hard. Did you know? I really assumed that they would be squished,
I thought they were squishy.
but it was hard.
Was it dried?
No, it was in the ocean. It was actively in the ocean with me.
Oh,
I didn't like get in there for another touch because
you don't want to be stung?
Stingy?
I didn't want to be stung.
Stingy.
But like they were tiny, tiny, tiny little jellyfish, just little white jellyfish, just like
And they're
bloop,
hard.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah,
It was hard.
I didn't know
Whoa.
that.
Man.
Should we call it
Somebody
hard
listening
fish?
right now is a marine biologist, and you'll have to explain to me why that jellyfish was hard when I smacked it with my hand.
This whole segment is perverted.
Yeah, but that's my creature report. I miss my kitties. I'll be back on Sunday, which is in 4 days, and then I'm gonna squish them so hard and kiss them on their little heads 100 times. Marcelle,
Yes?
how's your creatures?
Well, Faye's the same. She anytime that I'm horizontal, she will just like immediately put herself, she's like, oh, you're horizontal? You're my bed now. And so I was a little bit stressed out the other night and I like threw myself on the sofa in a little like stress panic and Faye just immediately like hopped on top of me and like used my shoulder and arm as a perch, and just like she got right in there and just started purring. So I'm her table, which is cute.
Yeah,
but
really
I think
cute.
maybe the sweetest Kreacher Report is that yesterday, while Elliot was folding her socks, she's got these. She's got these. I don't know if you guys have ever seen. It's like obviously the kind of gag gift that you give to adults and they hate it, and so they end up at the Goodwill, which is where I got this. But for Elliot, it was perfect. Sushi socks. So it's just 3 pairs of socks, but that are rolled up in a particular way, and like the colors of them are done in a particular way that when they're rolled up, it looks like a little like sushi box.
Okay.
Anyway, Elliot loves sushi, and she has feet, so
she sure does.
So I saw this at the Goodwill and I got it for her. Anyway, so now she takes rolling up her socks like sushi very seriously. So every time they're like,
cute.
Yep.
we've rolled them up in sock balls because we're tired parents and we obviously don't love her enough. So she diligently unrolls them and re-rolls them like sushi. So she's doing that on the living room floor, complaining about Cohen, understandably. And then Faye just comes along and like gets on her lap. And Faye's, I've never seen Faye do this before, but she just like got right up on her lap and she's like looking up at Elliot so expectantly, like, when are the pets? When are the pets? And Elliot, because she's so like both into her complaining about her toddler sibling and also folding her socks, is just like completely not registering that the cat is like standing on her lap looking up at her expectantly for pets. So it was simultaneously like the most Trevor thing she's ever done, and like also the least Trevor thing, because if Faye tried to get on Trevor, he would literally scream. So that's my Kreacher Report. My creatures are becoming bonded after like 7 years together or whatever. It's a long time. That's time.
Really cute. Well, at least Faye's trying.
She's trying.
Elliot's not convinced.
Faye now associates Elliot with somebody who pets her.
Oh, that's so good.
I was going to say, is it like a shared enemy thing? So is it like Faye also doesn't like Cohen?
No. She's okay with Cohen. He's very, very gentle with her. Yeah, he's really, really good. I think I was talking, I don't even remember who I was saying this to recently. I was talking about how I'm really surprised that my kids are not as obsessed with cats as I was when I was their age, because when...
You were saying it too? Me.
Was it you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, it's still true. But gradually, we're changing it. We're working on it, bit by bit. The end.
Wow, beautiful.
Perfect.
Wow.
So in the spirit of letting material concerns be iterative, devised, spontaneous, creative.
Wow.
And keep going.
Wow.
/ not super pre-planned, because everything else we do is really researched and scripted.
Very thoroughly planned.
Very thoroughly done. I've come up with a new segment, which I want feedback on. I've been getting feedback. We've been getting feedback, by the way. Some people love, okay, hear me out. Some people are like, I don't need this.
What?
We'll keep playing with it. But this new segment,
I don't need this.
I don't need this. If you hear me out, maybe don't do that segment anymore. This segment is called Left on the Table. And you may say, well, Coach, that sounds like maybe just what a mailbag bonus is, where you just talk about some things that people want to hear more about. I just was thinking it'd be a good opportunity for the three of us to kind of get together and chat about if there's anything from previous episode recordings that we feel like we didn't get to like dig into enough, or you felt a little unresolved about. I was thinking it could be content, but as I'm saying it, it could also be interpersonal. I didn't like the way Hannah looked at me.
What the fuck?
Oh no. Why would you say that?
No, this is the equivalent of let's all get drunk and let's get serious. Let's really tell each other what we think about each other. That's what's happening right now.
I just thought it would make good audio content. I'm not actually trying to agree. I was mostly kidding in that I don't have anything, nothing comes to mind, but maybe I'm coming from a place of privilege, and I should remember that if I open that can of worms, It's a disaster.
Okay, I'm gonna just briefly start us off with just because I'm thinking about I didn't like the way you looked at me. So towards the beginning of our writing retreat, I was telling Carly and Zena that I have been working on some of my little shit tendencies because Coach finds them frustrating when she's trying to do her job.
That's true.
And they were both like, "What? How could that possibly be the case? You're so charming and funny, and everything you do is delightful."
Aww.
And I was like, "Incorrect. Start paying attention. Start to notice that there is in me. There are two wolves, and one is pleasant to work with, and the other one's just a real sack of shit."
Little shit tendencies is so funny.
Yeah, and over the weekend, Zena in particular really started to like notice them.
Oh, God. Isn't it horrible to be noticed? Did you regret having her notice?
No, I really liked it.
That is the cool part about you.
One of the things was we were staying in her in-laws' very beautiful home. And so we were, she was like, "I really want us to like take care of this beautiful home because they have let us stay here for free. And I want to be really respectful of this space."
You threw a glass across the room.
Full of red wine.
Not quite that, but like every time she would be like, "Oh, we'd be in the hot tub," and she would be like, "Oh, remind me to put some more like cleaning chemicals in before we get out because like I want to make sure that I like leave it in good shape." And I was like, "I'm gonna piss 3 times in here."
And Zena didn't like that?
She found it charming, but she also noticed.
It was just the consistency with which every time she would make reference to doing something to make sure that the space stayed nice.
Yes.
I would be like, "I'm gonna fuck it up."
Yeah, that's the thing about you. It's
That's
like it's
the thing about you.
That's the thing about you.
It's not that I do it once, it's that I do it every time.
It's not that you want to cause chaos. It's not that like you yourself want to. It's like you also don't like when other people try to create order.
Yes. Yes.
You don't like being made to be complicit in order.
Yeah, that's fascist, Coach. Order is fascist.
Yes.
You and Coco
That's right.
Chanel.
That's right. I'm like, we should probably speed it up for time. And you're like, don't tell me about time. Don't make me complicit in adhering to time.
In your capitalist notion of time. Excuse me.
It's perfect.
Excuse me.
That's that. So I feel like that's exactly what left on the table is perfect. I think we did it. To be clear, Marcelle cannot participate beyond being the person accusing. But I want to be clear, Marcelle, we're protecting you. I'm not ever going to say, you've been perfect, you've been flawless. You have been flawless.
I can't
even believe I went there.
I'm too sensitive for this because now I need to know. Now I need to know.
No, there was
perfect
nothing.
Angel, and you've never done anything.
I was not
No.
thinking about. I really
They're
was thinking
lies.
content. I really was thinking content, and then I was like, it'd probably be more interesting for the listeners if we rabble roused, if we shit stirred with love and care.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We'll just do some therapy. Okay. I also like the idea of content. I'm sure that there is stuff that we think about that doesn't make it into the episodes. Right now, I am struggling to remember any episodes that I guess there would have to be episodes that are out, right? Like ideally. So like the newest episode out is about the sapphic. And I was having a conversation with Zena yesterday about this episode, and you're welcome for being shouted out 4,000 times in this episode, Zena. And I was saying that I am unusually nervous for this episode.
Oh.
Yeah, because I feel like queer history is an area that I like. What's that phrase? Like, I know just enough to cause problems,
I don't know the phrase.
Like, it's like I have just enough knowledge in it to know that I'm fucking it up.
Yes, right, sure.
Like I don't know it deeply, but I know it well enough that I know that I'm like
what you don't know.
more cognizant than usual of what I don't know.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
And like, I think generally we're pretty good at signaling like, here's a thing that I understand with some greater depth and some greater context. And here's the thing that I like don't know that well. And like, so I'm going to, cite the Wikipedia article and like just be transparent about the fact that like this isn't something I've researched a ton of.
Right.
And, I think we did that in the Sapphic episode too. It's just like in my head that I'm like, oh, but you didn't mention this person, but you didn't think about this, but you didn't do that. Like, because I know enough to know that if I had spent an additional month doing the research for that episode, it would have been different. And it's like, well, that's not how the podcast works. We don't spend a month doing research for episodes. We're not Helen Zaltzman doing rigorously well-researched episodes. We're doing pretty well-researched episodes.
Yeah. It's funny. I kind of felt that way when I was writing the episode notes because I'm like trying to summarize what the conversation sort of like came to or like tease it and being like, I don't want to like misrepresent what Hannah was saying. And I also want the episode notes to be interesting enough that like people are like, ooh, wait, say more on like I want to listen now. But I don't usually feel any kind of pressure around it. But yeah, with something, I think the language I landed on with the episode notes, but it's like with a term that's like fluid, evolving, and also like unstable, I think is the word you used in the episode. That gets like tricky then because it's like it's unstable from week to week to week to week, like history to history, feminism to feminism. People use it, who's using it in what way. Yeah. So it's interesting.
And it's just like, lesbianism is something that is like obviously sort of deeply enmeshed with our communities and with the identities of people that we love and care for in a way that, say, the Kafka-esque is not. That I'm not, like, worried that somebody's going to DM me and be like, excuse me, I am Franz Kafka? And I'm actually really offended at the way.
And I'm a lesbian.
The way that sometimes people will, like, just message at us about facts. And sometimes it's really easy to be like, okay, buddy, and move on in a way that someone like writing and saying like, you've like really deeply misrepresented who I am as a person.
I care about that a lot more than I care about facts because facts are oppressive. Don't try to implicate me in your version of reality.
I get that, sensitivity, but looking at our Patreon, for those who have forgotten, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/alwishplease. But I posted the ad-free episode and we got 17 likes in the first day, which is kind of a lot because it's not like people are like on Patreon all the time. And we got 10 comments and none of them were, for what it's worth, any kind of like, oh, you misrepresented so much in fact, we had this really interesting comment from Kat that was, can I read it to you? And then that'll be the end of the segment because we have time. But Kat said, I love this episode so much. I know this wasn't the point, but I wonder if the initial rise of the use of lesbian and sapphic in the late 19th century is concurrent with the rise of statistics and eugenics, meaning that prior to the eugenic project that worked to define normalcy and abnormalcy and the quantification of same that was available as the field of statistics is born, if same gender sex was just sex and undefined. I don't think I'm articulating this well, Kat. You are.
You articulate it so well, Kat.
Yeah, like so well. But it's coming from the realization that lots of things we define as pathology were prior to statistics just thought of as odd. And Hannah, you responded to that and you're like 100%. Foucault is writing about this in the history of sexuality. But I'd also say, I think if anything, the conversation sparked a lot of like interesting engagement and other extrapolations or sort of like, I think there was a lot of room for people to kind of bring other ideas to the conversation. So I thought you did a good job.
Love it. Love it.
How about that?
Marvelous.
Oh, I'll take it.
So way to clean up the table. Nothing's left on that. Picture me pulling the tablecloth and everything's gone. Okay.
Sorry, I cleaned up the table by, I guess, eating everything that was left on it.
Okay, great. Well, you guys, it's time. It's time for us to move on to part 2. But before that, a little outro to remind people how they might even get part 2.
Oh, I can do that.
How do you?
Oh, hell yeah.
How do you do it?
If you're listening and you're like, but wait, I want more. I need to hear those additional segments. Head over to patreon.com/ohwitchplease, where you can become a member for as little as $54 USD a year.
We run on Patreon support, and we need you now more than ever because we went weekly. So now we're making so many episodes. If you enjoy our show and you like getting it more often, please consider joining us on Patreon. At our lowest tier, you get part 2 of Material Concerns episodes. So this continued. We're literally going to press stop and then press record again. It's just going to be more of this, but more unhinged. You also get our ad-free episodes, our episode bloopers, and bonus content we record when we have guests on the show. That's all at the lowest tier. And then there's a ton of stuff on top of that.
We do a lot.
If you sign up today, we do so much bonus content. If you sign up today, you'll have literally hundreds of hours of content to catch up on.
Yeah. Which also includes our newest Patreon perk, which I just want to shout out, which is our mailbag episodes, kind of a throwback to Which Please Tell Me, the Q&A episodes of your, and those are really, the April mailbag was the first one, and it was super, super fun. You guys answer questions from listeners. It's casual, it's off mic. I'm not there, which means time is not real. You never know how long a bonus is going to be. You
truly can't
know.
Tell. You truly can't be knowing.
Coach says that in this way that's like, yeah, it's awful.
You never know.
You never know.
Well,
I'm
Malika
going to die editing this podcast.
Well, no, because now I've handed off to Malika, and they'll be like,
and they're going to die.
And I'll go like,
podcast.
hey, how long did it take you to edit that? And they'll be like 3.5 hours. And I'm like, cool. And just like readjusting the budget.
Coach always has the budget open.
It's constant. But if you want to support the budget, again, you can go to patreon.com/ohwitchplease. If that's not in the cards, we totally understand. Life is rough right now. So just leave us an Apple review. It costs nothing but time. Not that your time is not valuable, but take 3 minutes.
But it's also not real.
It's also not real.
Do it
also
on company
posting
time.
about the show. Do it on company time.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Double dip, y'all.
Yeah.
And like share it. And also, I'm just going to go on mic saying, if you're like a freelance writer and you like write for some like women's magazine or just like cool queer magazine or something, maybe do a write-up about us. This is the kind of thing that we never have time for, like to do like that kind of publicity. But just like, if you like the show, I can pitch you an angle. If you want to write it, I've got angles, baby. Okay?
Coach has angles for
Hell
days.
yeah.
Angles
Hell
for days.
yeah.
They're very tall.
Oh my God. That's how you get angles. Okay, listen. Thank you to Auto Syndicate for the use of our theme song, Shopping Mall.
Okay, everyone, shut up. Listen.
Hey, everybody shut your mouth. Thanks to the whole Witch Please Productions team. Hey, shut up. Gabby Iori, Zoe Mix, Malika Kampankum, Ruth Ormiston, and our executive producer and Material Concerns co-host, Hannah Rehack, a.k.a. Coach. Shh, Coach, shh. Meet me over in part 2.
See you in part 2.
Come on by.
Come on by.